Hello everyone and welcome once again to another program of Primetime. I'm your host Beverly. The last time one of my guests visited, she was embarking on a new stage of her academic life, and she has returned with some great news for us. Also, we have another young achiever to share her successes and plans with us. So stick around and we'll be right back, for this is Primetime.
At Nagico, the things that matter to you matter to us. Like knowing you're covered when your house gets flooded, getting your settlements quickly and fairly when a fire hits your home, and making sure your business can keep going even after an accident happens on site. At Nagico, we're about much more than just insurance. We're about the big things and the small things that mean everything.
Hey guys, did you know that now with Telcel, if you accumulate $25 or more within one calendar month, you get 15 more?
15 more?
Yes, 15 more. However you want.
So I can top up $3 now, $10 next week, and so on until I reach or pass $25?
That's right. Get 15 more.
Wow! I feel like a 15 again.
Yeah. Right. Accumulate $25 or more within one calendar month and get 15 more. Telcel, when you want more.
Welcome back and thank you very much for joining us. My guest today in my immediate right is Anisa and we brought them here today because they've gone through their bachelor's and they've completed their master's, and we thought it was, that'd be nice for a change to bring some of the young women in our community to talk a little bit about their advanced studies. And so we got Anisa to come in and talk with us. And of course, we all know Carla. She's a frequent visitor on Primetime. I think maybe one day she might take my seat. And she also co-hosted with me for the Christmas end of year program. So she's a pro at this. Thank you very much for joining us on the program. Yes, and I was saying, and she was embarking. She wasn't embarking. She was almost finished. And so I'm going to go to Carla and ask her, how are things? Give us an update as to what happened late since you spoke to us.
So, since the last time that I was on the show for the show, not for the year in review, I had just started thinking about my thesis topics, and since then I've now finished my thesis and finished all my courses, so I'm waiting on the final results for my master's program, and that's a good feeling.
Yeah, it's a good feeling. Did you have to go and defend your thesis?
No, I did not have to defend my thesis. That was the greatest thing ever that I found out. But I guess because it's an international-oriented program, a lot of people end up doing their field work in countries all over South Africa, Asia, Latin America, and so I think it's easier for the school as well to not require students to have to come back to then defend the thesis, because that's another additional expense to have to put onto people.
Wow, also that is up.
Yeah.
And so just tell us quickly, and then we're going to go to Anisa. What did you choose eventually? I know, but you have to tell the others what you chose.
So for my thesis topic, I did the historical development of Carnival on St. Martin. And so I looked at how Carnival started under Governor Van Delden and the Aranya Committee in the early 1970s, and all the way down to the St. Martin Carnival Development Foundation.
So did you have to first kind of do Carnival in general in the Caribbean, or carnivals, and then you came down to St. Martin, or you just did St. Martin?
In the background literature, I did do an overview of Carnival starting in Europe, then to Trinidad and Tobago, and then how it spread to the other islands. St. Martin was a little different because we fostered Carnival in the late 1970s, and it wasn't necessarily an organic process. I mean, it was slightly organic, but in other countries, it was very much, you see the role of the Trinidadian, where they go to another island, they're labor migrants, they say, hey, there's no carnival here, you guys need carnival, and there's carnival.
Right.
So it was an interesting process.
Yeah, we want to come back and ask you how you think they would receive that, because that's in Europe, you're doing this, and Carnival in St. Martin. That would be an interesting read for them. So Anisa, tell us, so you went to school here in St. Martin. Did you do high school in the U.S.?
No, so I was born and raised here, and I went to high school at St. Dominic High, and then I graduated.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yes. Yeah, you're next door.
But yeah,
yes.
next door. Right. I did go to system after primary school,
right, that's
so I switched over to the English system. And then I went to do my bachelor's in finance at the University of Tampa in the States, and then I went to do my master's in Holland, Amsterdam, Vrije Universiteit.
Was there a particular reason why you didn't just, as lots of people do, just do their bachelor's and come back home and look for a job? Was there a particular reason that made you say, hey, I want a little bit more?
Well, I wasn't really ready. I don't think I was ready after my bachelor's to come back home or not even to come back home, but just to enter the workforce as yet. I wanted a better experience somewhere else, travel a bit more. So then I decided to go to Holland because, I'm from here, I have a Dutch passport, so I wanted to take advantage of that. And so I went, and my program was for a year, and it was
For a year?
nice, yeah, it was a nice experience.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so how was the adjustment from the US for bachelor's and onto Europe in Holland for your master's?
Well, it was different, I must say, because in the States, I lived on campus. So in the States, they give you that option. In Holland, you don't. You live in a student flat, and you basically you have to set up everything yourself. And I didn't go with S4 because S4, I think, was at that time for kids coming straight out of high school going to do the bachelor's. So I went as like a independent person and set up everything on my own, got my BSN number, which is a social security for in Holland, and got my insurance. Of course, I got a little assistance from them, but it was really on my own, and that was the big difference, because in the States, your school assists you.
Right, carries you kind of away. Yes.
So I had to do it myself.
Yeah, you did finance for your bachelor's, and you also did it for your master's. Is there a particular reason why you stuck to finance? Were you really good in math? Tell the truth.
No, my mental math is not that good. But I did my master's in business administration, and my specialization was financial management. When I went to do my bachelor's, I wasn't sure what I wanted to study at that time. So in St. Dominic, I chose a science package. So then when I got to school...
You ended up with a business package.
I ended up with a business package when I got to that. And when I got to school, in the States, they make you do 2 years of general stuff. And then, my dad was like, oh, you should study something that's like specific and, has a good foundation. And you should maybe try and go business. And then I thought about it. I took some classes, and I wasn't bad at it.
To feel it.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, this is cool. And then that's how I just ended up going that path. Yeah.
So Carla, tell us, how was it? We wouldn't be able to tell all in this segment, but we're going to come back and say I'm getting a sign from Leslie. We'll come back, and then you'll tell us the process of getting that master's thesis ready for you to move forward. So stick around, and we'll be back in a moment. This is Prime Time.
People all across St. Martin are switching to a more rewarding experience. The WIB MasterCard Fun Miles credit card, better known as My Card. Earn 1 fun mile for every $2 spent, even abroad and online. This will quickly get you a ton of fun miles to redeem for travel, shopping, food, fuel, and much more. But there's more to My Card. Worldwide acceptance, an EMV chip for extra security, and 250 free fun miles with first use. Switch to My Card today at WIB.
Fun miles, fun within your reach.
A cruise is a great adventure, not only for passengers, also for us. The Port of St. Martin. Our port always reflected the needs and aspirations of the time. From the first to the 1.75 millionth passenger in 2013. Our cruise story started in 1963 with our first cruise passenger. 50 great years later, 20 million passengers later, thousands of cruise berths later, we've become the leading port in the Caribbean. 50 fantastic years, like a dream. The dream of Port St. Martin lives on and reinvents itself every day. The best is yet to come.
At Travel Planners, we love what we do, Every day we help our clients plan their vacations, from honeymoons to family reunions, trade shows to conventions, school trips to sports tournaments. Our agents at Travel Planners can help you make better, wiser decisions on travel destinations and cruises and find you the lowest fares. Make some memories with help from Travel Planners in Phillipsburg and on the Airport Road, Simpson Bay. Visit our website at Planners SXM and like us on Facebook at St. Martin Travel Planners. We take care of all your travel needs.
Welcome back and thank you very much for joining us. Today we have in studio two master holders. I have Anisa Daycoff and Carla Vlon, who's about to get hers. So we thought it would be nice. We always have the men coming in. Let's highlight some of our bright and intelligent and upcoming young women in our community. Carla, tell us a little about the process of getting, because your topic was something special. The process in getting this done, and how long did it take?
I think it was actually really funny how I came across the topic, because most of my classes were on the environment, so I study civil and transnational issues that cross borders, and so I really study like the people in international affairs, and yeah, and I was studying environmental policy, and then one day I came across a paper, I think it was from Trinidad or Aruba, and the person was trying to say how unsustainable Carnival is, because every year has to be something new.
Yeah.
And so then I started thinking, oh, St. Martin Carnival, and at the same time, it happened to be when Carnival was happening here. And I think I turned on the live stream of Juve, and then I had to write a proposal, and suddenly, like, inspiration just hit me, and I just started writing and looking at other carnival theory and carnival in Trinidad and Tobago and finding what I could find on St. Martin, but at the same time I couldn't find anything on St. Martin that wasn't like a website, you know? It wasn't
anything structured view.
Yeah, you know, or like in a historical with historical backing. And so then in that moment I decided that that's what I want to do. And
so did you have to take it to your professor and say, hey, this is what I want to do?
Yeah.
What was their reaction?
Well, I was really lucky that my professor actually specializes in Caribbean history.
Okay, so you can relate a little bit.
Yeah, I already knew from the beginning she was going to be my supervisor, no matter what the topic really was. And before I had told her about the environmental policy in the Caribbean and in St. Martin, and she was kind of like, oh, okay, you know, that's nice. And when I came to her with this, she was like, run with it, go. Like, this is something I want to read, so... Yeah, that's how it happened.
So how long did it take you? Months and months? Because I know you were here and you had to go back, research and all that.
Yeah, so I started some brief research last September, I think I came back. So in August, September, I started brief research because I had to tell her what was there, what wasn't, what's in archives, what's not in archives. Basically, almost nothing in archives that would be useful. But then I had to create like a strong backing for using oral history as a methodology, and so I was able to do that. But then the school year took over, obviously, for those first 6 months, so thesis got a back seat, and I really started back again in December. And then just completed June 15th, I think I submitted it.
So where did you get your research? Because you didn't have, as you said, nothing much structured on St. Martin. So what did you use? Magazines, old newspapers, the internet? What did you use?
I was at the library every day going through their archives.
They have
the Chronicle digitized.
You went right
this.
Okay, you went way back.
And I mean, the newspapers don't even go back far enough. So then, of course, I talked to all the greats of Carnival. So I talked to Jocelyn, I talked to Keith, I talked to Keith Franca, Erna LaBega, and Michael Granger. And I also got to talk to Valerie Gitterson.
Yes.
In her role as Minister or Commissioner of Culture at the time. All of them together brought the information.
Right. And so, Anisa, tell us how you went about doing your master's.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to ask about the thesis. That was a long time ago.
I'm going to ask you about your thesis, yes.
Well, I mean, my master's program was a year in business administration, financial management. So, and of course, I did have to do a thesis.
So what you wrote about?
The effects of the financial crisis on small economies, something like that.
Yes.
So this was about 4 years ago.
Yeah.
So
I'll excuse you a little bit.
Yeah, excuse me a little bit. But the process, I mean, in the States, we didn't really do, usually in Holland, I think for people's bachelors, they do a thesis. I had to do like a senior capstone. So they gave us a real life company that had issues, and then so I didn't have the experience of the thesis coming into my master's. So I had to.
So you didn't have to defend your thesis either.
I didn't have to defend my thesis. I'm not sure. I can't remember why it was. I don't know. It's not part of the program, but I mean, mine was qualitative, right? Quantitative. Yes. So mine was focused on numbers and I had a section of theory, yes, but mostly just numbers and a model that I had to use and kind of test with the different sides of the economies and stuff like that. So
were you happy that you decided to do your master's?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was, yeah.
What would you say to people, to young people out there who are doing their bachelor's and saying, I'm done?
I think the workforce is becoming very competitive now, and when I look at after I came out of school in Holland, everybody had their masters. So
you saw that?
Yeah, I saw that, and when you have, of course, it holds value your bachelor's, but you know, in order to make yourself competitive in the workforce, you need to continue studying. I'm not saying that persons have to go back right after their bachelor's.
Right.
Maybe it would also be a good idea to work
Take a little break.
first,
Yeah,
and get experience. But you know, if you are one of those people that really, you know, want to be in a specialized field that requires, and you look at you look at the sector that you're in, and you see what the competition is, and if you see that okay, everybody, you know, has furthered their studies and either specialize in something, then you know that's something you should look into.
Carla, you had the same feeling when you finished your bachelor that you needed to go on, or were you in between? Boy, should I? Shouldn't I?
No, but when I finished at Leiden, I was only 20 still. So I mean, really, I felt that even if I were to jump into the workforce at 20, I just still felt so inexperienced and disadvantaged already because of my age.
Right.
And I mean, even my age was an issue in applying for my master's program because the average age in my class, most people around me are 24, 25, 26.
Doing the master's.
Yeah, so you know, they've gone off and they've worked and, but I mean, definitely I especially in the field of international, my bachelor's was in world politics, so that's also like very broad. So I definitely needed a master's to focus.
Kind of narrow you down a little bit.
Yeah. So it was definitely the next step.
Alrighty, we'll take a break, and when we come back, I'm going to ask Carla, now she's done her master's, what's next? Because as she said, she's still young. And then I'm going to ask you what you're doing presently and how easy or difficult it was for you to get back home and to readjust. Stay tuned, and we'll be back in a moment. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube and on Facebook for all the programs we've done. Be back in a moment. The Daily Herald is my first source for up-to-date information and news. Putting together this program of prime time requires research and knowledge of current events. For local news, regional and international news, do read the Daily Herald.
Hey guys, did you know that now with Telcel, if you accumulate $25 or more within one calendar month, you get 15 more?
15 more?
Yes, 15 more. However you want.
So I can top up $3 now, $10 next week, and so on until I reach or pass $25?
That's right. Get 15 more.
Wow! I feel like a 15 again.
Yeah. Right. Accumulate $25 or more within one calendar month and get 15 more. Telcel, when you want more.
GEBE has been faithfully serving the communities of St. Martin, powering your home and our economy. Come rain or shine, our qualified team of professionals are working hard 24 hours a day to provide you and your family with safe, reliable electricity and water. We use the latest technologies and test our products daily to maintain the highest international standards. Our friendly staff is always there to assist you, whether in person, over the phone, or online. We are committed to constantly improving our products and services, making them more efficient, effective, and environmentally friendly to serve you better today and our next generation of clients tomorrow. GEBE, powering a brighter future.
Our friend Megawati is here with tips to save you energy. 1. Turn your airco temperature up. 2. Use a ceiling fan instead. 3. Buy energy-saving products. Save some green with NVGEBE.
Carla, I know when you were here the last time, I asked you what advice would you give to students who are preparing to leave this year? So for those who didn't hear it, just give us 1 or 2 tips.
Definitely in your new classroom, you know, you're going from being like possibly a big fish in a small pond to a small fish in a big pond.
Right.
And never feel discouraged, you know that especially when you choose to continue your studies, you're there for yourself, you know? So if you don't get something, ask questions. Ask your classmates, ask your teachers, because honestly, at the end of the day, your ego or your pride isn't going to do anything to raise your GPA, your grade, or your understanding, you know? And I think a lot of people, when they get into those environments and they see the competition, they don't want to seem like they don't know things.
Right.
You know, but I mean, at the end of the day, you don't know those things, and you need to know them to pass, so ask those questions.
I know, that's nice. Anisa, you?
Well, I would say to don't underestimate yourself, because sometimes we may feel like we come from a small island and then we go out there in the world that, oh, everybody is 10 times better than me. And actually, it's not the case, you know. We bring a lot to the table as St. Martiners, and, you know, we have good education systems, and it's actually what you put in is what you're going to get out.
Exactly, right.
So if you, like Carla said, you know you're there for a reason, and just stay focused. And I think that's a big issue, like staying focused.
And so now you, Carla, is still in a different phase. She's going to tell her what she wants to do next. But you came back after your master's and you started to work. How easy or difficult was it for you to resettle and find a job?
When I first moved back, I wasn't sure yet. I didn't have a job. I didn't even start looking. But then, fortunately, when I got back here, I was offered a job after I applied in government at the cabinet of the Minister of Finance. At that time, it was Hassink.
Right.
I had previously done an internship at his firm, Hassink and Rose. So I had a little bit of experience and, you know, financial background in the Ministry of Finance. So that really, you know, I was grateful for that experience, because it was one that is invaluable up to today. So
and what you're doing now, and then you switch gears.
And then I switched gears just recently. I'm the credit manager at First Caribbean Bank. Right. So I'm in corporate investment banking. So I deal with commercial loans, and it's good for my field of studies, and I get to enhance on my financial skills.
You think having the masters opened the doors a little quicker?
It definitely did.
Yeah,
it definitely did. And also I feel like as a young, local, educated St. Martiner, a lot of people may think that, you know, don't come home because there aren't a lot of opportunities. But if you are part of that pool, the doors open, you know? So that's another reason why kids should go away and study and know what they want, and then try and come back, because there are few locals out there that actually come back and who have experience and who have a good education. So you are part of the few, so it makes it easier
to get in.
Yeah.
And so, Carla, we know that you're going to be graduating with your thesis. It's coming September.
Yeah.
So what's next? Because you said she's still young.
That's a really good question.
Yeah.
Right now I'm completing an internship at the Social Economic Council, and very interesting work, very interesting place to work, but you know, it's really opening my eyes to all the possibilities of workplace environments and workplace ideas. And I know for the next year I want to work on building my CV, building my resume, getting experience. But I am thinking about going back to school next year, September. But you know, it's juggling between whether you're going to get the experience that you want to get from a position somewhere, or if really this is what I want to do, if I want to dive into the theory and the academics of things, because I can't lie and say that I don't enjoy researching St. Martin from day to night. You know, so
you think you'd like to go on to do your doctorate?
That's exactly what I'm
like,
trying to figure out.
You're trying to figure it out.
That's for next year, but I mean, I'm definitely leaning more towards that than work experience, just because, you know, the freedom to try and to think about, you know, the environment around you. And sometimes it always frustrated me when I was doing research for school that there's so little on St. Martin yet. It's such an interesting place to research and know about, and I haven't met a teacher yet, except for one, who wasn't very interested in what St. Martin is all about, the social dynamics, the economics. So it's just always interesting also to see how other people react and to be a part of that.
There's a doctorate for you. Yeah. But anyway, you're gonna take a little break.
Time.
Have some little fun.
I'm only 22.
You have time.
Yeah.
Take a break. Do the beach thing. She likes the beach. The
I
traveling.
agree.
She loves. I see her all the time on the beach. Yeah, she loves that.
I don't blame her.
Yeah. Practicing and modeling. Anisa, what do you get to do for spare time?
When I first came back, I've been dancing too since I was young with Sushan and Dira and Emotions back then. So when I first came back, I was still doing that. And then work got a little more demanding. So now I do yoga. I go to the gym and I go to the beach.
You go to the beach,
yeah.
Do the beach thing.
She's alright.
Oh, you're alright.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah. But how important is it for young people to congregate and to keep in touch with each other when you come home? How does that work?
No, it's not hard at all. I mean, like
with Facebook, and I suppose,
And I'm not on Facebook.
Yeah, you're not on Facebook?
No.
No? I'm on Facebook.
I know.
Why not?
I don't know. The Facebook
You're not feeling it?
No, not anymore. It's too much.
Are you on Instagram?
I am.
On Instagram.
So
I know.
I'm an
Not a lot of
Instagrammer.
I think Facebook is like people like me. Carla, what you on Facebook? No, I don't see you on Facebook, are you?
I'm on Facebook, but I deleted my Instagram last week.
Actually,
I'm getting tired. It's like the same image, and it's funny how like Instagram is such a creative platform, but it really has like made people conform to like a certain image of themselves, and I was just getting sick.
And actually, the reason why I'm not on Facebook is because I was like, okay, well, if I can't contribute anything at this point on Facebook besides from pictures and blah blah,
what you eat and all that.
What I eat, and then I don't want to be on it, So
anyway. All success. You all are great role models for young people in our community that they must study and stick to it, and you don't have to only do your bachelor's. You can move on and on. The sky is the limit.
Exactly.
Thank you very much. It's in prime time. I'll see you next week, and may God bless you.